I really love the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, when I really started to embrace it in my life, in my daily prayer, changed my life, changed my way of praying, changed my way of being a man and a priest. And yet, to be honest with you, every Pentecost, I struggle. I struggle to say something that is meaningful about the Holy Spirit. I love Him so much, and yet it's hard to put into words how important the Holy Spirit is. So I think even if you just live today with this message, it is important that I make the Holy Spirit more part of my daily prayer and routine. I think you will go big way. Because He's the one that is going to teach you how to pray. He's the one that is going to bring you closer to God. He's the one that is going to guide you in every decision you make. And so going back, I just want to maybe reflect with you with the very first command that Jesus gave to the apostles. After He shows His signs, after He said, I send you as the Father has sent me, He says, receive the Holy Spirit. Receive the Holy Spirit. So in order to receive, it means that we need to be asking. We need to be acknowledging that we are in need. I need something. I want to receive, Lord. I want to empty myself so that you can fill me with your Holy Spirit. So that as I call upon you and the Holy Spirit, He will find in me a great place to fill. You know, I fly back to Italy once a year now, and I will be flying soon. And I learn, one, it's part of my personal taste, but when stewards or hostesses come through and give you something to drink, I always ask a glass without ice. I don't want ice in my glass. Once, because I don't like it, it's too cold. And two, because, you know, if you have too much ice in your glass, you get very little drink in it. So I want my glass to be full and full to the brim so I can drink as much as possible from that glass. And so if you really wanted to receive in our life, we need to present and go back to the Lord with an empty cup. Say, Lord, you got to fill it. I don't want to have like ice cubes or things that do not belong here. I don't want to have in my life, in my heart, things that don't belong to the Lord. Because otherwise, when He comes and pour into my life, it's going to find obstacles and He will not be able to give me as much love as He can. And so I need to acknowledge my need. I need to go empty-handed and say, Lord, fill them. Got nothing today. Got nothing tomorrow. You got to fill me. So that as He fills and He fills to the brim, then it overflows and that goes into every aspect of my life. In my words, in my speech, in my thoughts. So I need to receive, and I need to receive the Holy Spirit. You know, it was just only a couple of weeks ago that I was with my community and School of Faith doing the mentorship program. So this program where we train majority of lay people to be spiritual mentors. And one of the participants is the head of the deaf ministry in the diocese. So for the whole week, we had a deaf interpreter. And I was fascinated, and I was spending a lot of talks like looking at her because I want to learn and see a new language. Do you know the sign language for Jesus? When they sign Jesus, they do this. They sign the hands. Say, this is Jesus. This is the one that had his hands pierced. And it was the reason Jesus, in the gospel we heard, the reason one that showing his wounds to the apostles, they see those wounds and they rejoice. Because those wounds are signs of love. Say, I see those wounds and I remember how much you love me. I see those wounds and I remember how much I'm worth of your love. And so the Holy Spirit is nothing but the love of God. The love between the Father and the Son, and the love that is make everything possible. Jesus sends and breathes the Holy Spirit. It's a new creation. We need to receive that love. And so maybe it's very simple in the way we can make the Holy Spirit more part of our life. But make a prayer of the Holy Spirit more part of your routine, of your daily schedule. You know, in the bulletin, if you see right in the second page, you find a good prayer to the Holy Spirit. Maybe you just need to cut it out. And if you spend a lot of time on your computer, just stack it on the screen. So every time you see, you say the prayer of the Holy Spirit. If you spend a lot of time driving, put it in your car. Every time you get into your car, you say a prayer to the Holy Spirit. Whatever you do, whatever it's important for you in your life, you need to open and close the day with the Holy Spirit. You need to allow Him to be that life in you. You know, in the Creed exactly we say, I believe in the Holy Spirit, the giver of life. We all are trying to have life in some way or another. And we need the Holy Spirit to be more part of us. I don't remember what I preached last year on Pentecost, but I remember it was maybe a similar homily. I told you how much I was kind of struggling having words to talk about the Holy Spirit. And I remember there's always somebody who comes and makes a comment about my homily, and that time he didn't make any comment, so I thought, okay, I get it. It wasn't a great homily. And then a week later, he texts me and said, Father, you know, I didn't think much about your homily, because all I got out of it was like to say, come Holy Spirit, as much as possible during my day. It's like, well, okay. And he said, well, during my week I found myself saying that simple prayer over and over again. Come Holy Spirit, come Holy Spirit, come Holy Spirit. So it was more important than I thought. No, the Holy Spirit and God is simple. We don't need great things for that. We just need to make Him more part of our life. We need to receive the love of God, the Holy Spirit, empty ourselves, and invite Him to fill every single part of our life.